You know, I bet USA Today from this video is going to get inundated with letters from TMPers across the world. I hope so, because they deserve it. Get this. As a supporter of the legal availability of firearms here in the United States of America, unwilling to relinquish your constitutional rights to those firearms, apparently, according to USA Today, you have made a deal with the devil. That's correct. You have made a devil's bargain because you won't give up your guns, and you are a huge part of the gun violence problem here in the U.S. Unbelievable. Sometimes I'm even shocked at their tactics. Hello everybody, this is Nutnfancy running the Nutnfancy Project, TMP. It is 26 July 2012. We are 6 days removed from the shooting in Aurora, Colorado at the theater by a James Holmes, now in custody, a psychotic, killed 12 people, maybe more if some of those poor people in the hospital die. I immediately made a video on 20 July 2012 to respond to that shooting and to immediately weigh in on our right to self-defense. I think the deaths could have been a lot fewer had that theater allowed the carriage of firearms. I'll talk more about that. But back to USA Today, because I'm going to take them to task, and perhaps in the future other major media sources, as they attack our right to self-defense. Now, here in TMP, I am a small voice. Now, some of you guys think, oh, TMP is so big. It's not. It's very small. I need your support, though, in these responses I will do time to time against the media sources. Because they will look at my numbers. They will look at how many subscribers I have, how many views I have. The more the merrier, because it shows that we are a consensus of sheepdogs, of responsible citizens. Numbers speak. So if you have not subscribed to TMP, and I've run into thousands of you guys that just jump into YouTube, watch my videos, subscribe, please. I need that support as I respond and take these guys to task straight on. I will not pull punches. In this case, USA Today. I could use any media source. I could use ABC News, NBC News, CBS News, MSNBC, CNN. They're all kind of doing the same thing, portraying you and I as the bad guy in this shooting, that we are responsible for the gun culture and perhaps the gun violence in the United States of America. A lot of their tactics are played. We've seen them a lot, me personally, since the 1980s. And yet, we should all be infuriated by them because they serve the purpose to disarm you and I, to make us subservient to the state. If you want to be deadly honest, that's another one of their agendas. Back to USA Today, I said. This is the article. Colorado gunman reignites debate on devil's bargain. Devil's bargain? What are you talking about, USA Today? Well, I'll tell you what they're talking about, and I will debunk it. First and foremost, they have a bunch of stuff they're talking about on their, this is their editorial page, by the way. And before I get jumping in the article, and actually throughout the issue of 23 July 2012, I'm going to jump around. I'm going to kind of give some updated thoughts on what I know about the shooting in Aurora, Colorado. A lot of the things I've talked about in front of the camera several times throughout the years here in TMP. So I will echo those. But there's some new information I didn't know on 20 July, and I'll give you my response, right or wrong, to it. I've been very busy with my real job and adventuring. So I haven't been sitting in the easy chair clicking through channels, watching all the media, reading all the media, so my facts may be incomplete. I apologize if they are. I'll do the best I can. But the big macro issues I'm really going to drive home, and I feel very confident that my information is correct. Okay, so here we go. First off, notice that on this editorial page, here is USA Today's official response. Notice it says our view. Okay, so what I'm getting ready to tell you guys is their view. That's what they believe. And normally they'll have a counter response, albeit it'll be smaller and, I don't know, less wordy. But they don't have that this time. Instead, they just have quotations from lawmakers and various people around there. I might read some of those. There's some comments from viewers. I might read some of those. In fact, I think I'll read some of those right now to prove to you that as a gun owner in the United States, as a supporter of the Constitution of the United States of America, you, my friend, not only being in league with the devil, I mean, seriously, that's what they're saying, but you are in the minority. Yeah, you are. Because there's a lot of people that do not see it the way we see it. They think that by us wanting to keep guns legal, that we are creating this huge problem. Okay, just like USA Today's official position. Like this guy. This is a dude who wrote into the letter. He signed his name. It's an Aaron Spittle in New York City. He says, another tragic mass shooting and still we debate gun control? When will we learn? There's no place for assault weapons in a civilian society. They are killing machines that the authors of the Constitution never imagined. Don't worry, I'll comment on some of this later on. There is no justification for providing easy access to guns, he says. Most of the shootings in Mexico are committed with firearms attained in the U.S. My gosh, this guy's facts are so jacked up. Which has among the most lax gun regulations in the developed world. In parts of this country, even criminals can easily buy guns. Oh, I'm so tempted to just start breaking this out piece by piece, but I won't, not yet. Critics of gun control argue that people, not guns, kill people, but it is clear that one person cannot commit a mass murder with a knife. Our lack of gun control is a disgrace that has cost many innocent lives. It is time to stand up to the National Rifle Association. That evil organization. I added that one. Jesting, of course. And the lawmakers it buys because lives are so much more important than unlimited access to guns. Okay, there's one of those guys. He obviously buys off on it. There's another one. There is no doubt gun laws are still too relaxed. How much tragedy and suffering will happen before they change, writes York_Yvonne at Twitter, I guess. This guy writes, ban guns. It's as simple as that. C Pome19 at Twitter. I don't understand the justification behind allowing citizens to carry high-caliber assault rifles like AK-47s, writes GCK80 at Twitter. Well, I read these to set the stage. To tell you that there are a lot of people, again, that do not see things the way we see it. We are the problem. So here we jump into USA Today. I will talk about some of these issues as we progress. First and foremost, they talk about Cho, the guy who shot all those people at Virginia Tech. He killed 32 people in 2007. And USA Today, in their editorial, blames the state, who failed to run the background check and pass it on to state authorities or something like that. The reason I bring that up is because we will see with this protectionist agenda that they blame the system. They are big believers in laws being able to prevent this. They will not abandon that. And apparently USA Today believes that had the system been working, Cho would have totally been prevented from getting a gun. Let's go back to this guy's letter. He said, well, it's clear a bad guy buying guns. How about that bad guy buys the gun, not in a gun store, but he gets it in the back alley in New York City on the black market? How about that happens all the time? He steals it. There's all types of ways to get guns. You can pass whatever laws you want, as the UK has done, as Australia has done. Bad people can still and do get guns. They will never accept that. They will never accept it. They will never say, hey, what we have done didn't work. What they'll say is, we need to go further. And thus we see a huge tenet of the anti-self-defense people. And that's, dudes, what they are. Don't say anti-gun. They're anti-self-defense. USA Today, I mean, they're a ringmaster. Ringmaster here. They continue. They're talking about this Holmes guy. Bought 4 of his weapons legally Why would they put the word legally in there? Because they're against it. In fact, I'm going to show you a whole article where they're talking about it. Here it is right here. Arsenal, easily available. I'll tell you why they wrote that. He bought them legally, including a semi-automatic assault rifle. That's a contradiction of terms. An assault rifle is fully automatic, dummies. They don't care, though. They play fast and loose with all their terminology. They get their facts wrong. I mean, check this out. Here's a listing of the guns by Home to use. One, they say it's an assault rifle. As far as I know, it was a semi-auto. I don't think it was a full auto AR-15, but they call it assault rifle. And then look at the caliber they say on the Glock. 40 millimeter. Dang, boys, I missed the issuing of that 40 millimeter Glock because I want one. Yeah, they get their facts wrong all the time, but they don't care about facts. They have an agenda. They're going to get their agenda home, and people like this Aaron guy are going to eat it. Hook, line, and sinker. So he legally bought his assault rifle with a 100-round drum magazine that police say was capable of firing 50 to 60 bullets a minute, a superb killing machine, says USA Today. There are calls now for laws strict enough to stop incidents like these. Dudes, I got to stop right there. Let me repeat that. For gun laws strict enough to stop incidents like these. Let us think for a minute. Let us think. How strict would a gun law have to be to stop a James Holmes from going into a theater and shooting those people? Well, let's see. We could require everybody to register all their guns. Oh, wait, the shootings are continuing. That's not far enough. Okay, so now they've registered them. Let's confiscate them. So we confiscate all the guns. Wait, the shootings are still happening. What is going on here? Okay, we need to confiscate pellet guns, butter knives, BB guns, everything. And, oh, wait, the shootings are still happening. Oh, maybe they just keep going. When they say, this is their code, strict gun laws, what they're talking about is eventual confiscation of your gun. Make no mistake about it. That is exactly what they're talking about. They'll even make the argument, well, your gun could be stolen. Surely you're a responsible gun owner, but we can't trust it. You will always lock it up. Someone could steal it from you. And then here we go again with another dangerous tragedy. Now, I am not making light of the loss of life on 20 July. That is a very serious matter. But you know what is also very serious? That you and I lose our rights to self-defense because of the political correctness and spin job of media outlets like USA Today. And I continue. Just as they were after previous tragedies, those demands will fade. And here we get to the crux of their argument, their editorial. It is a devil's bargain that allows millions of law-abiding people to own and use guns responsibly. Wow. While accepting thousands of deliberate and accidental shootings a year. We accept them? Who says we accept them? We don't accept them. We hate them just as much as anybody. Unbelievable. They're putting words in our mouth, though. They're saying we accept them, including the sort of perverse tragedy that occurred in Colorado. Interesting. So they're saying that we, you and I, are in league with the devil. You know who's in league with the devil? You want to be dead honest about this? The theater owners and management in Aurora, Colorado, that made that a gun-free zone. Any place, Virginia Tech, that posts signs like that has a policy that strips law-abiding citizens to legally carry their guns at your private property premise. You are in league with the devil because what you have done is created a gun-free, free-fire zone, watch my video please, that invites attack, invites it. Don't you think this supposedly smart guy, James Holmes, maybe took that into consideration? That the chances of a citizen having a firearm to repel him were extremely low. He goes to the theater, he sees it's posted, don't bring your guns in here. He goes, perfect, perfect. You know, I'm just going to go in and I'll just have my way. Just like that Cho guy did at Virginia Tech 2007. So apparently in Aurora, Colorado, their approach to personal security is that of Virginia Tech. Not only did they learn nothing from that tragedy at that school in 2007, they adopted it. Welcome to the world of the protectionist. And apparently, the city of Aurora, Colorado, I'm told by TMPers who live there, is complicit in that approach. Concealed carry friendly in the state of Colorado? Not so much in Aurora. So who's in league with the devil? You put a sign out on your door. Don't come in here with a means to defend yourself. Do you think there is a way that you could absolutely protect your patrons in that theater? Forget guns. Please, forget guns. How about a fertilizer bomb? A gas bomb? And I don't want to even go down the litany of dangerous things that people can use to hurt other people, but I've talked about it lots. There's evil in this world. You cannot go down the list of all the things they could use to hurt people. You have just conveniently targeted guns, and the one way that we can easily defend ourselves as law-abiding citizens, and you're okay with that. You know, apparently we're in league with the devil because we don't give up our constitutional rights to be in charge of our personal security. A lot of these media outlets are portraying the average law-abiding gun owner as a freak. You know, if you're seen shooting your AR-15 at the range, oh, heaven forbid. You know, USA Today rolls up and takes a picture of you because you just might find yourself on the cover talking about the out-of-control U.S. gun culture that will not give up their guns and in doing so invites mass murder, because that's what USA Today is saying in this editorial. That you and I are okay with mass murder because we will not give up our constitutional rights. How does that sit well, or how does that sit with you? It pisses me off. And then they go on talking about there's no legitimate reason for the loophole that lets some people evade background checks when they buy guns at gun shows. Here we go again. Misinformation spewing out of USA Today and all the other liberal media outlets. Let's be honest. There is no gun show loophole. Okay? Background checks are conducted at those points of sale just like they are anywhere. There are private-to-private transfers at gun shows. One dude sells another gun to another dude, just like he would through the newspaper or anywhere else, according to state law. In some states, you can't do that. California, with a K, you can't do that. There's no gun show loophole. Their purpose here in USA Today is to shut down your access to guns. So, you want to talk about being in league with the devil? You know, gun-free death pay is what I say. Who's in league with the devil? You're basically the partner to that mass murderer, aren't you? Theater management, Virginia Tech, aren't you partnering up with that dude? Of course you are. You're saying, hey dude, hey man, you call him on the phone. Hey, guess what? There's not going to be any guns here. Come on down. That's what you're doing. That guy goes and murders all those innocent people. You're helping him? Who's in league with the devil? Huh. Funny how that turned on you, huh, USA Today? So guns are the problem? So we accept legal ownership of guns, and so in doing so we invite this mass murder. We're accepting all these accidental deaths. How about pools, ladders, paints, gasoline? So if you're a purchaser of gasoline, are you also in league with the devil because you're running your car in it? Oh, but by the way, this person over here accidentally got burned to death with gasoline. So that person's in league with the devil. Why don't we just every day come out with an editorial talking about how many devil alliances there are at USA Today? We could start off maybe, I don't know, tomorrow with pools, because we have a lot of kids that drown in pools, and yet pools are still legal here in the United States of America. I'll tell you what they don't want to be legal, though, is this. Getting back to this article. Now, why would they devote print to this? Shooting suspects, elaborate arsenal, easily available. So what does USA Today do? They go down to the points where he purchased them. Why? to give criticism to those outlets. Hopefully some people will give them harassment. Why would you post where he got it? Because what you're saying in the article is the people who provided this stuff to this shooter, those guys are culpable. That's why. They are part of the problem. That's what USA Today is saying. Unbelievable. They go down the litany of this, and their whole thing is, unbelievably, this stuff is legal. All the gear was purchased legally at the local sporting goods stores or over the internet. Their whole purpose is, we need to shut it down. We need to shut it down. And there's dudes like this Aaron dude. They're all for it, man. All for it. Okay, a couple other things. First off, if you're in league with the devil, it's just laughable. I'm sorry. Maybe we should read a couple of these while we're at it. This is the Armed Citizen of the American Rifle Association. And every month they chronicle legal defensive encounters. This is a June 2012 incident. And I'm going to play a little bit of Church Lady here. If you don't know what that is, look up Dana Carvey's skit in the 90s. Hilarious, even though he is, I believe, an anti-self-defense type. Here we go. People fled in terror when the gunman entered a medical building and took several people hostage. A doctor at the practice, Jeff Ferguson, retrieved his gun, guarded an exit, allowed an estimated 50 people to escape down a stairwell, warning them, if this guy opens this door, I'm going to have to shoot him. Got a sheepdog in that group. Thank heavens. Ferguson said after the ordeal, I was absolutely prepared to shoot him, and then goes on to say everyone escaped without harm. Awesome job. But he brought a gun with him. They're in Colorado Springs. It's in Colorado, reported by Fox News on February 12th. I wonder who made him bring that gun. Could it be Sam? Oh my gosh. When a resident returned home one evening, there's another one. He was confronted in his driveway by a man with a gun. The victim was ordered inside the residence. Oh, that never sounds good. Where his family was being held hostage. That's even worse. Once inside, the victim was shot in the back. Wounded, he still managed to get a firearm and return fire. The alleged assailant fled on foot and was later located at a nearby residence. Both men were taken to the hospital for treatment. He got hurt, but he survived. He defended himself. Wonder who made him do that. Must be in league with the devil as well, that dude defending himself like that. Shame on him. My gosh, let's read one of this. Oh, this one rocks. Those who say there's no way for an armed citizen to stop a potential mass shooting. It's right here, dudes. Interesting. And may even exasperate the carnage should take the following tale to heart. Customers at the Houston, Texas Denny's restaurant were eating breakfast one morning when two armed robbers brandishing guns burst into the store and demanded money. One of the diners stood up, drew a handgun, and opened fire on them. The robbers fled the scene. No one was injured. Reported by AP, November 2011. I wonder who made him do that. Stand up and defend himself like that. Could it be Satan? My gosh. One more, then I'll go into something else. Roosevelt Maget, I think is the dude's name, was at home recovering from cancer treatment when a burglar knocked on the door, to him, I'm sorry, pushed him over the chair and tried to choke him to death. Now that's a bad day, dudes. You come home from cancer treatment, a burglar's taking over a chair trying to murder you? That's bad. He grabbed me, Maget explained, and he said, I'm going to kill you. Despite his weakened state, Maget was able to reach for a firearm. I guess the good Lord gave me strength to get him off of me. Maget fired one round into the burglar, killing him. Well, I guess it wasn't the good Lord. It must have been Satan, according to USA Today at least. Legal availability of firearms? You betcha. What about all these people? I could go on all night reading incidents like this of legal defensive encounters where shots were fired sometimes, sometimes not. Almost in all cases, the person carrying the gun, legally licensed, defended his or her life, and it turned out well. But you don't hear about that in USA Today, do you? Not so much. Did you guys hear about the 71-year-old, what's his name, Sam Williams? On 18 July 2012, he's in the internet cafe or somewhere, and the guys burst in. I'm going to annotate the video right here. Check it. Watch that video. 71-year-old, the guys walk in with guns. He gets up, starts shooting them. So they immediately turn into from the aggressors, where they have complete power over that helpless gathering of people in that internet cafe or whatever it was. And they're put on the defensive. In fact, they just booked it. And this 71-year-old dude is just going out, popping rounds. Pop, pop, pop. Good on you, Sam Williams. You are an impressive human being. So designated by the Nutnfancy Project. You rock. Oh my gosh. Let's go back to that theater. But Nutnfancy, the dude was wearing body armor, head to toe. There's no way that a concealed carry permit holder could have done anything to that guy. My answer to that is, perhaps. I've got no guarantees. I will tell you this, though, because I've done a lot of force-on-force stuff, to include paintballing. I've played a lot of paintball in my days, all the way from the 80s into the 90s, not so much now because I have to run the project, do my jobs and stuff. There's a little phenomenon, just like in that internet cafe, where guys think they have it all down, they got their game plan going on, and next thing you know, they start taking rounds. And then all heck breaks loose, and their game plan goes to crap, and they're put on the defensive. And I can tell you what, in that theater with James Holmes, I don't care if he had body armor or not, if he started taking rounds, he immediately gets off shooting innocent people to concentrating on the threat. If he's good. That's a big if. If he's good. Because how many people can start taking rounds on body armor? Maybe one gets through the neck protector, hits his wrist, gets through his face protector, he takes rounds, and he can still maintain presence of mind, shoot accurately? No. I don't think so. Let's assume worst case. CCW guy gets up in the theater, shoots James Holmes, bang, 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 bang. James Holmes comes back, kills the CCW guy. Meanwhile, 30 more people get out the exit uninjured. Now you want to talk about heroes. That, my friends, would be a hero. That, my friends, would be a sheepdog doing his job. If he dies, he dies. I'll tell you what, amongst those sheepdogs, he will always be considered a hero, just like that 71-year-old guy. Body armor, I don't care. You know, I feel confident I could put enough rounds on that guy with my Glock 26. His whole game plan would change. You know, do I die in the process? Maybe, maybe not. I'll be relocating. And then the critics will weigh in. But you shooting in that dark, confusing theater with the tear gas, the smoke, dude, you're just going to make it worse. Really? You're going to make it worse? So what you're saying is, let's maintain the status quo of mass murder. That status quo, by the way, says that nobody responds. Wait for the authorities. Which, from what I heard, was a fast response. 90 seconds is what we're being told. But apparently it wasn't fast enough to save 12 people and the other 59 that were injured, or whatever it was. I say respond. Respond. Do the right thing. If you die in the process, at least you've done the right thing. Oh, and getting back to the confusing thing. You know, again, that's a status quo of a mass murderer, that don't respond. Just let him sit there and do whatever he wants to do. Wait till he runs out of ammunition. That's a response. What? But you might shoot an innocent bystander. Well, let me tell you this. I told you I'd speak my mind. I'm going to be dead honest. You won't get this at any other media source. Dead honest. The dead truth to that matter is people are going to be dying that day. You want the truth? There's the truth. When a guy decides to come into a theater or any gathering of innocent human beings and he's willing to die in the process and he has a gas bomb, whatever he's going to use, chances are someone's going to die that day. Just like in the military. Those of us who have served in the military, I'm a retired 20-year lieutenant colonel, you make hard choices in the military all the time. You kind of have to move past that and make the best of a bad situation. So a concealed carry permit holder gets up, let's say he accidentally shoots an innocent person in the process. But instead of 12 people getting shot, 59 injured, you have 4 people getting shot, maybe 7 injured. Isn't that better? Okay, and as a society, we should stand up and not castigate that dude that stood up and took the shot. But that's exactly what media outlets like this will do. They'll just take that guy to task if it happens. Oh, how dare he do that? Well, dudes, he prevented the loss of lives. The mere fact that he engaged a shooter stopped the other guy from shooting everybody in the crowd. Amazingly, they don't see it that way. And welcome to the weird, bizarre, twisted world of the protectionist. And they see facts differently than we see them. And they're okay with that. There's a lot of other weapons that James Holmes could have used that day. Banning guns won't stop anything. What's Obama's response to this? Well, I read on the news sites today, I've clicked around the internet a little bit to see, and he's cooled off to it because he knows it's a political liability to come out for gun control. I will tell you guys this, who are supposedly telling me in comments on my videos that, hey, well, Obama hasn't passed anything, and Mitt Romney's passed this Massachusetts, assault weapons bill, Mitt's bad too. Well, you know what? I agree. I know. I didn't want to tell you that in my King Obama video because it'd be defeatist in my purposes. I don't like Mitt Romney. I think he's an idiot. But I think we can have leverage on Mitt Romney. We have none on Obama. Do you think he's getting your votes? Obama? He's discounted gun owners. Come on now. He just doesn't want you to wage war on him, and start influencing middle-of-the-road people. But don't for a second think Obama is your friend as a gun owner. If you do, you don't know his record, and I recommend you go to the Gun Ban Obama website. Read his record. It's right here. Opposes 4 of the 5 Supreme Court justices who affirmed individual right to bear arms. I'm just reading. There's 35 bullets, and they're all cross-referenced with sources. Go there. Voted to allow reckless lawsuits designed to bankrupt the firearms industry. He did that, and this is going back to his senatorial record as an Illinois senator. He endorsed a complete ban on handgun ownership. I'm talking about Obama. Supports gun owner licensing, gun registration, favors a ban on magazine capacity, supports mandatory microstamping, on and on it goes. Opposes right to carry. That's Obama, your buddy. This is what he said recently, July 25th. He said, I will leave no stone unturned in seeking new measures to reduce violence nationwide. Let me translate that for you. What it means is when I get reelected in the fall, I am going to take the gloves off and go after the gun ownership in the United States of America. That's my prediction. It was in King Obama video. Nothing's changed. A lot of gun owners would agree that AK-47s belong in the hands of soldiers, says Obama, not in the hands of criminals. They belong on the battlefield of war, not on the streets of our cities. There's Obama. You think that's pro-gun? Well, why would you need an AK-47? Well, first off, it's not an AK-47. It's an AK variant rifle. It's semi-automatic, and yes, I need it. Because the big scheme of things when you're talking about the Second Amendment isn't really to protect against mass shootings. It's to protect against the government. Let's be honest again. Okay? One of their overriding agendas here at USA Today is, yes, they would like to eliminate civilian gun ownership, but another reason is they would love to establish statism, I believe. And you can't do that when you have an armed populace. Let me give credit to USA Today because they do get one thing right. They said in this editorial, and I was going to read this, I give credit where credit is due. They said the notion that authorities could somehow confiscate the millions of guns in private hands in the U.S. is a delusion. You got that right. I am of the opinion that I think it is also a delusion. If they think they can come across and, let's say, in the next few years, completely ban civilian ownership, and they come knocking on doors. Oof. Gosh, don't do that, dudes. I don't care whoever's doing that door knocking. Don't do it. For your own safety, don't do it. I'm just saying. I know people through this project, and you're not going to do that. And it's just not going to go well for you. Progressives are pushing Mr. Obama, who campaigned 4 years ago on a platform of stricter gun control, to speak out on the subject and use a tragedy to impose stricter gun regulations. The article goes on to say, I'll tell you this, he's not going to do it before election. He will probably do it. Not probably, he will do it if he's a lame duck president. So, Obama, pro-gun? No way. No way. Mitt Romney, pro-gun? Probably not. But he's the lesser of two evils, and we can have leverage on Mitt. Gosh. Now the response to the Aurora killings has been, well, we need to start screening everybody that goes in theater. Remember in Evil Rises video, I said it's like whack-a-mole. Oh, it was at a theater? It was at a college? Okay, now let's do this. We'll put those, security guards there. All easily circumvented. You just can't prevent it. Anybody who's smart or willing to die can easily circumvent those so-called security measures. My gosh, it's bad. So mass killing is not your problem. You are not at fault. You have not made a deal with the devil. Media outlets like USA Today and all the others that are in cahoots with portraying law-abiding, kind, considerate American gun owners should just immediately issue an apology. They know it's not a popular subject. They know that they probably can't gain traction in this because there are so many of us now. Thank heavens! A lot of that has to do with the internet, the thing you're watching this video on. As we disseminate information one to another and we educate what the Constitution is about. And the Constitution in the United States is about you as a free individual being able to control your destiny. Not being a subject of the state. Not in the off chance that somehow they will be able to intervene in a timely fashion to prevent your mass killing at a theater. It just will not happen. It's complete fantasy. Complete fantasy. Getting back to this dude's letter, he is blasting the National Rifle Association. It's time to stand up to the NRA. Well, I'll tell you what. It pisses me off also when they say that the NRA is like this faceless institution with this evil political agenda. You know what the NRA is? It's you and I. That's why it has so many millions of members. It represents our interests. Does it do it perfectly? No. No organization is perfect, but they do a pretty darn good job about it. And I'll tell you what, they're respected. That's why you see them getting attacked constantly. You don't see them mentioning any other pro-rights institution. You hear the NRA's name all the time because they have millions of members. They have clout. Hopefully they have money, and you and I should contribute to it through the NRA ILA link in the sidebar. So it's not a faceless institution, it's you and I. And it prevents entities like USA Today portraying us as in league with the devil, apparently, because we choose not to, give up our self-defense rights. And they fight against it. I mean, I could go on and on with this guy's letter, but I'm already at, 38 minutes. I got to wrap it up. There's no justification providing easy access to these guns. Oh, really? What about those people who defended their lives with the guns? I just read a few of them. I could go on again for hours reading. All those instances where the media does not report. They don't want to report it. They don't want to put that forth to popular America saying, hey, this guy defended his life. Hey, he defended the lives of others. No, they don't want that. There is a justification for it. It's because maybe a 70-year-old woman who lives alone is not willing to go to the black market to get a gun, which apparently you want to institute. USA Today. Legal availability of guns. Increased gun ownership. You want to talk facts? Lessens crime. Violent crime goes down. You go to countries like, UK, Australia once again. How's the violent crime rate there? Not necessarily gun violence, but violent crime. All kinds of weapons, baseball bats, knives. How's that going? It's bad. Oh my gosh. Mexico. Here we go with this. I got to wrap it up. In parts of this country, even criminals can easily buy guns. How about they can get them anywhere they want? Just like I said earlier. Are you in league with the devil? Well, I don't know. Depends on your definition of what that means. Apparently to USA Today, that means you are a constitutionalist, that you believe that you have the right to own firearms. It is regrettable that we cannot somehow miraculously prevent the mass killings. But again, it's an evil world. Evil people do evil things. You know, in league with the devil because you're a law-abiding citizen. Okay, whatever. You know, you want to turn that tragedy around, you put some brave concealed carry permit holders in that theater and you replay it and see how it plays out. Will it be perfect? No. Fog of war, man. Things never go down as planned, but I bet you it would have turned out better. And at least, at the very worst, it would have sent a message to the next clown who's planning on this. Huh, that guy in Colorado got shot up pretty good by some law-abiding citizens. I don't think I'm doing that. This is Nutnfancy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. I need it. I need your support. See ya.